Alright. Hey monster dudes, monster girls, humans. I'm back again doing a new stream. I'm just gonna talk about something really stupid recently. About this YouTuber. And I am so tired of this. His name is Lextorius. And he did like a video on Frieren. This is the guy that was defending demons in the anime. Oh, I fell asleep last night. Did you finish the case? No, I kind of like, there was actually more after that, after I beat the nurse, but yeah. But anyway, as I digress, this guy had pissed me off for weeks. I really do not like his video, his analysis on the demons. Oh yeah, there will be a stream after this too on that one, so don't worry. But anyway, let's continue. Yeah, this guy is such a jerk. Also, this guy was also involved in the Harry Potter incident thing. The, what's it called? The Harry Potter legacy shit. So yeah, let that sink in. What kind of guy he is. But without further ado, let's slither on in. Hope everyone's ready. Grab your popcorn, because this show is a shit show right here. Alright.
Frieren Beyond Journey's End. This is a fantasy adventure show about a really old elf girl that started airing last year to massive amounts of fanfare, and immediately became one of the most highly regarded anime of recent memory. And having watched it while it was airing, it kinda got stuck in my brain, for almost definitely the wrong reasons. You see, on the surface, it's this very simple...
You know, when someone says that, you know it's already bad. You know that's already like the meaning of a tourist saying like, oh, I watched this anime and I felt like there was something bad about it. Like, you know that's like the sign of a tourist.
Adventure story with a chill atmosphere that contemplates life and the importance of cherishing your time with other people. It has a very good first 3 episodes, which establish this deep emotional core to the show. It has some very simple and strong themes that nearly everything feeds into.
Yeah, it's a red flag.
And our main characters and their journey feels like it's heading towards a satisfying, if bittersweet, conclusion. And yet, on the other hand, I couldn't help but feel like it's basically just a shonen action battle story with a fantasy twist. Our hero is the most powerful person in the world who's...
Okay, I didn't understand what he meant by that. It's like a shonen anime with a battle twist. Oh, you mean like every fucking 70% of the anime? Oh my god, without fan service? Jeez. This guy, man.
Spends a significant portion of the show
I told you, this guy's a tourist.
Proving how badass and cool she is, instead of going on that chill Iyashikei adventure. With the first season even spending what feels like half its runtime on her just going through an elaborate Naruto-esque exam arc. To make it clear, I have problems with the show. I had them while it was airing. But I couldn't quite figure out where they were coming from, because I didn't
action
want
anime
to dislike
anyway.
it. After all, it's highly praised and universally beloved and the #1 anime on my anime list by such an absurd amount that it might stay there forever. Its premise and story is right up my alley. I don't even dislike Naruto's exam arc, and I love powerful One Punch Man type characters and fantasy action. So when I was watching it and it wasn't working for me,
here it comes,
like
guys.
Maybe I just wasn't getting it. Maybe there's something I was missing. So I left it alone, and I stopped thinking about it. Up until about 9 months later, when I made a tweet about how the demons in the show are kind of weird, and people sent me death threats. So now I get to use the power...
Okay, I am so tired of every YouTuber that does this. When they make a stupid tweet that is so stupid and so pointless, they always say, oh, I got death threats, guys, feel sorry for me. Oh, this is some pity shit people tend to do on YouTube, and it makes me so mad. No, like, I mean, I will get like people shit on me on Twitter for a few times, but I would never say, they sent me death threats, guys. Give me a break. Oh yeah, by the way, he locked his tweets too, by the way, just let that sink in.
Of my YouTube channel to prove my point.
Oh, and another video made with spite. Never ends well. Yeah. Yeah, this whole video was spite. It was out of spite. I hate this guy so much. Oh my god.
So first of all, spoilers for basically the entire story. I'm gonna talk about just the show for the first part before getting into the manga, but I do need to talk about the manga. It is important to the video. So if you haven't read it, you're probably not gonna want to watch to the end. If you're unfamiliar,
still gonna watch it.
The main plot of Frieren is that our main protagonist, Frieren, is a several thousand-year-old elf who is part of the legendary heroes party that killed the Demon King, who once threatened the entire world. This is something that most fantasy adventure stories of this type build towards over the whole show, and here they do it off screen right at the beginning. And the actual plot is then about Frieren watching the hero's party die of old age because she's an immortal elf, and then at the behest of her last remaining party member.
Yeah, I'm gonna forget the spoilers too, but anyway, I'm probably just gonna read the manga soon because, like, I know the manga still continues, so I might actually start reading the manga.
She takes up a new apprentice and forms a new party to head back to the Demon King's lair, in search for the entrance to the afterlife. Frieren and her new party, Fern and Stark, go on this long adventure that retraces the hero's party's steps, stopping at all the towns and villages they originally stopped at, so we can see how things changed over time, or rather, how Frieren didn't. And through this journey beyond Journey's End, we get to see her and her new companions develop and grow, as this emotionless elf girl starts to value the people around her. But like I said, the actual real plot, the bulk of what we spend our time doing, is seeing Frieren and her party fight enemies. Mostly in this kind of episodic adventure format. We head off to a new location, find they have some problem, typically monster related. We then solve said problem by killing said monster and move on to the next location. We might slow down while the party is traveling and meet new characters and go on fun side quests, but that's usually in between these long arcs where they stop dead in their tracks to deal with some big threat. And the most popular thing for the party to fight in this show, by far, are demons. Leftovers from the Demon King's army who kind of roam the land and cause problems, and who Frieren just loves killing. Like, a lot. Like, maybe the most important thing about her besides being an elf is that she loves killing demons. Her tragic backstory is that demons destroyed her village and killed her people, so she's been specially trained to do magic to be able to kill them. And not only has she killed the most demons out of anyone in history, but she has become so famous for this that her nickname among demons is Frieren the Slayer, which, if you didn't know, is the Japanese title of the show.
今にわかるわ。早々のフリーレン。
So this show is, at least partially, named after this girl's love of killing demons, because demons are shown to be pure evil. They created an army that nearly took over the world after all. They destroyed the villages of seemingly half the characters we meet.
Okay, I'm gonna stop here for a minute, because he already explains the premise here, but he keeps questioning it later in this video, okay? Just, I want you to let that sink in. How infuriating this video is.
Out nearly 1/3 of humanity. They're the main antagonists of this story. They're fantasy villains, undeserving of any sympathy.
He's talking about why she hates demons. What's the problem? Exactly.
Or, well, we're told that.
I swear to God.
Demons and Frieren are very strange.
No, I swear to God. These people are so, like, it's like they're not even people. Like, they were like, well, I already explained the premise why that she hates demons. Let me just make a 50-minute video on how I'm going to defend demons like a failed Phoenix Wright's character. This is what this video basically is.
Creatures, though, right off the bat, because there is no like evil god or dark magic.
I think
that really
they do.
Created them like in most fantasy settings. They seemingly don't have any connection to divinity at all. They're just a species of creature, same as everything else. And it's even revealed that they're a product of evolution. So the name demon is really the only connection they have to like biblical demons. They are monsters, though, a vague classification in the story.
No, he's basically just Eustace Wiener. That's what he is. He's just basically Eustace Wiener at this point. He just tries to like be a contrarian, and that's basically what it is.
That basically just serves as a catch-all for anything you're not supposed to feel bad about killing. Dragons, mimics, big fucking wolf things, they're all monsters, which in the world of Frieren means they're evil, and they dissolve into mana upon death. It's this very video gamey way of basically telling the audience don't worry about it, and allows the author to paint the world in a clear black and white, as these monsters serve as the fodder enemies we fight week after week.
Well, technically it's not black and white when you do explain about it later, but yeah, we'll get to that.
However, even from their introduction, demons are shown to be very different from every other monster we encounter in the story. Most importantly, by being much more intelligent. Dragons are said to be maybe the second most intelligent of the monsters, but they don't really do much to act like it, and things like mimics and beasts are just completely mindless. It is only in demons that we see actual human intelligence, and quite a lot of it. And when we first see demons in the story, you might be surprised to see that they can express emotions and empathy.
Okay, it's black and white when it benefits me. It pretty much is.
And kindness. They can speak with humans, and quite eloquently, in fact. They seem to be pretty dang human themselves. You know, if you talk to any demon on the street, you would most definitely be fooled into thinking they're a race of sentient being, not a monster. And many people
It doesn't matter if you're a sentient beast or not. If they try to manipulate you into doing something, and like they, oh my god, if they try to manipulate you and shit, yeah, they're considered a monster. Like fuck.
are fooled because it's a trick. The way demons
Oh
are
yeah,
explained
horns
to
aren't a
work in
red flag.
Frieren is a lot
Exactly.
like mimics. This creature that I mentioned they evolved from was apparently something that could replicate human voices and cry for help, getting people to lower their guard to go after it only to kill them. But demons evolved so much from that creature that they are now able to fully replicate humans. They look like humans, aside from the horns in their head, they can act like humans, even expressing complex emotions, and they can speak like humans and understand our language, but all in service of being able to kill us, all as part of a deception to lower our guard, as we're repeatedly told that demons are actually nothing more than wild beasts, savage monsters who will do anything to satiate their desire to kill. This
Exactly. I mean, dude, this guy is acting like the people in the village, you know, that trusts the demons. Again, he's talking about why they're bad. Exactly.
description of demons as
Oh
wild
my
beasts
God.
is actually one that not only Frieren the character gives, but the demons agree with. I mean, in their introduction, one
God.
of them looks into the camera and says, "Yes, we are wild beasts. We just want to kill humans. Frieren is right about us." And their actions largely align with this, as in pretty much
I
every
mean,
subsequent encounter
okay, I mean, not necessarily, but okay.
we have with them,
Oh
they are
my God.
lying or killing humans, usually resulting in Frieren stepping in to live up to her nickname. So the story makes it incredibly clear.
I have no idea what he's about, because that never happened in the anime. I mean, they just show you, but they don't tell you like that. They show you exactly what their motives are. And he's all like, well, they tell you, yes, we're evil. It's like, no, they did. I'm like, I don't know what. It's like he didn't even watch the anime at all.
Very early on and tells us over and over again that demons are evil. Monsters that kill and eat people without remorse. Any bit of emotion or empathy they might show is just a part of their deception. So if you see a demon on the street, you should kill them, because they're definitely going to kill you. Frieren actually wants to go so far as to eradicate them entirely. But the problem with this is that while the story is telling us they are mindless, immoral killing machines that warrant the protagonist wishing for their destruction, it often shows us something very different. And I'll just go over a few examples. The introduction to demons in the story begins with a group that is trying to make peace with the residents of a town that Frieren is visiting. Frieren actually sees them be welcomed into the town and moves to attack them before getting arrested, which is where we get the scene of her calling them wild beasts. And our introduction to the demon's trickery, which proves Frieren right, is when during the peace talks, one of the demons is threatened by someone over the death of their son, to which the demon responds by saying they too lost a father, which spares their life. Yet later, when it's just two demons alone together, one of them asks what a father even is, and they don't know. This is
Oh my gosh.
very clearly meant to be a reveal for the audience, an almost comically straightforward one. Because again, immediately after this, the demon sits down and tells the audience that they only speak human language to hunt and kill. But at the same time, with that knowledge, this is a scene that completely baffles me. Because why would the other demon even bother to ask this question? One, this means that demons seemingly don't have their own language and just use human speech to talk to.
No, they probably know what it probably meant, but like the thing is, like, this is like one of the things I have a problem with this one. It's like, no, they did it to deceive people. They probably looked at humans and they probably spied on humans for all these years for all I care. I don't even know. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, how do you not interpret this? Like, they probably spied on humans and probably saw families and everything that call them father or mother or some shit like that. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Each other, even when humans aren't around.
Okay, is this supposed to make me feel bad for them? Because if it is, it ain't working. Exactly. This is like, I don't know what the point of this video is.
Which directly contradicts them telling us there's only one reason they speak like humans. Two, if language is just a tool used to deceive, and they already picked up what a father was based on context clues, well enough to be able to use it in a conversation, why would they care what it means? The word has already served its purpose. They've already figured out how to use it effectively. To inquire about it further means they have a willingness to understand human language beyond just deception and out of genuine curiosity, which also directly contradicts what the demon tells us. In that same chapter, actually, the big flashback we're given to drive the nail in the
I don't know if that was like a mistranslation from that. Like, it could either be like two things. It could be like a mistranslation But that's my only theory on this. But like, it's just so bothersome. Like this guy is like really going into deep on this.
Often that demons are evil begins with a kid demon who killed a child. The hero's party wants
Okay, this right here. This is what pisses me off. Okay, like, he brought up this part of the episode. This should be enough why we should kill demons. I mean, like, how much more do we need to keep them alive?
spare the demon despite Frieren saying to kill it because the demon begs for its mother. But despite her wishes, they let it live, and after enough time passes that the town takes the demon in, it kills the mayor and offers his child as a replacement.
Hey guys, I think we found this guy in a cameo. That's him inside the freaking building right there. That's this guy's house right now being burned because he trusts demons and keeps sucking them off.
Which is a terrible offer, so they get obliterated. Once again, begging for their mother before dying. Frieren asks why it says this when demons don't understand the concept of families, and it replies, because it stops you from killing me. And again, this is a reveal for the audience. It's just laying it on thick that demons lie and kill, and that's it. But
bro is trying to cook and burn his house. Yeah, he's cooking alright, and it burned the house down.
Importantly, it shows they lie out of self-preservation.
No
In fact,
shit.
That's the most common way we see them deceiving people, begging for their life.
Oh my god.
Which is also strange because we're explicitly told they are being deceptive by doing this.
They are being deceptive. Oh my, this is the part of the video I hate so much. Oh my god, that's like every villain that does this, like, oh, don't kill me. Have you ever seen Dragon Ball Z? Like when Raditz tried to like kill, like, no, like that told Goku, oh, please don't kill me, I'll try to be a good person. And then like Goku lets him go, and then that's like, and then he goes and tries to kill Goku. My goodness, it doesn't, oh my freaking god, are you stupid or something? That's like every villain that tries to deceive people. How hard is it for you to figure this out?
Yet they are genuinely begging for their life. They
Oh my
genuinely
God.
don't want to die and are acting afraid of dying in order to not die.
Oh
but if
my
that's
God.
not enough, demons show actual genuine emotion all the goddamn time. They are often described as prideful and arrogant. They feel genuine excitement and anger and shock and fear in ways that cannot be explained by them just imitating humans to get an advantage, as it is so often not beneficial in any way. With demons calling Frieren a bitch or getting mad at her when she kills them, or
Oh god, we're not even one for the video. Oh, it gets worse because this motherfucker brings up something so irrelevant. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm just gonna tell you something right here. Because like after he gets to this irrelevant part of the video, you're gonna see why I hate this guy so much. Because everything he says is full of shit.
expressing some emotion when humans aren't even present, sometimes even in their inner monologue. Going even one step further, one of the first big fights in chapter 20, the conclusion to the demons pretending to make peace with the town, ends with one of the demons getting cut in half by Stark,
Yeah, it
and
is
the other
shit.
demon crying out their name, which gives Fern enough of an opening to kill them. The way the anime frames it makes it seem like they might just be calling for their ally to help them, but they do cry out after the other demon is dead, while looking in their direction. After it's already been established, they can sense when another demon dies. So this feels almost intentionally written, like the demon is crying out.
Okay, I don't think they actually detect it. I think they just heard it. Okay, I already... Like, I think someone already pointed this out, like, I don't think they have, like, oh, like, they detect, like, the demon is dead or some shit. Like, I don't think that was in there.
Because their ally died. And it's made pretty clear the crying out is what drops their guard and gets them killed. Which looks to me like a pretty clear-cut expression of empathy. Now, you could maybe argue that the
No, I doubt that is the case. I don't even think none of these demons care about each other. They used each other for freaking, like... for hate and all that stuff, dude. Like it's not that kind of... How bad did the comments kick this guy's ass? Oh, it was so bad. I got involved in this. I even comment on this video too. I call him up on his BS.
demons have just gotten
They
so
beat
good
his
at
ass in the
mimicking
comment
humans that they
section.
do
I
so
will share it after this video.
But if this is involuntary, often completely detrimental, and ingrained within the demons so deeply they even do it when nobody else is around and cannot stop doing it to save their life,
Oh my
then there
God.
is functionally no difference between the mimicked emotion and the real thing. Though perhaps the strongest contradiction in the demon's nature is that they do actually have some sense of morality.
I just love when he says, there's the biggest contradiction here. This is like exactly my freaking playthrough of Phoenix Wright, and he doesn't find nothing.
The one thing you would think they obviously don't, because we're also told that to demons, one's mana level is a source of pride, and almost all demon hierarchies are simply built on who has the most mana. So a technique that Frieren has mastered to be effective
they're
at killing
allies.
demons
They're tools to be disposed when broken.
To appear to have a low amount, to trick a demon into fighting her so she can kill them. It's something she's even taught Fern since
they're not
pretty much
allies.
the
They're tools
this
to be
is already
disposed when
interesting
broken.
Because it directly mirrors how demons trick humans with words to kill them, and it comes across as Frieren playing by their rules to get an advantage.
Yeah, like exactly. And remember that one where he mentioned about like, you know, the one demon wanted validation? That's exactly the tool thing. They just need some validation too, because it's a tool to feel better about themselves.
Using that arrogance the demons are described as having against them.
God.
But the more interesting part is that when that demon from earlier, the one who cried out at their ally dying, learns that Fern was concealing her mana, they call her a coward. They are visibly disgusted by it. Because again, demons are proud of their mana and think...
No, actually, I think it's more than that. It's a lot to it than that. No, they got mad because, oh, it's like the thing where you get mad at someone, you cheated or something like that. That's like kind of how it is. Like, oh my god, whatever.
Concealing it is a lowly thing to do. So the demon's morality might not align with ours. They're still totally okay
No, it's
with
them
killing
getting salty because they
but
lost.
they must have some sense of morality to believe concealing mana to trick them is wrong. There is no reason they would react this way if they didn't. A truly immoral being would not think there is such a thing as an action that is wrong. And
I don't understand why he
even an
sympathizes
explanation
with
of
this
being
guy.
part of their mimicry
I
because it's
don't
something
understand.
only demons care about. So right now, I'd like to take a tangent to discuss a different story that isn't Frieren. But it's one that Frieren very obviously takes a lot of inspiration from.
Oh my
because
lord.
It's the story most fantasy series take inspiration from, because it's The Lord of the Rings. J.R.R. Tolkien's fantasy book series
I'm
is
so tempted
fairly
to skip in
famous
this
for
part.
having
I
pretty
am so
definitive
tempted.
morality. Characters that are depicted as unambiguously good or evil, on the side of light or dark. And with this, it portrays some races as entirely on one side. The most common of which being orcs. They are human-like creatures who are bred for war by various dark armies, including Sauron's. They are pure evil, existing only to kill and destroy and oppose the forces of good. Their purpose in the story, much like the demons in Frieren, is solely to be an antagonist to our heroes that they can kill lots of without remorse. However, it's important to note that the evilness of the creatures in Middle-earth, if you really get
He's
into
a
it,
Satanist.
all come from
That's why he
someone
made
called
this video.
Morgoth,
Actually,
who
you
is
know
the
what I really
fantasy
think he made
equivalent
this
of
video
Satan.
for?
And
I think
mean
he
that
actually
literally.
he
J.R.R.
actually
Tolkien
thinks
was a
he is the
devout
demons.
Catholic and
I think he
modeled The
actually
Lord of
sees
the Rings
himself as the
heavily
demons in
after
the
his own
anime.
religion.
That's the only thing I
Morgoth
can
is
think
literally
of.
meant to be a stand-in or representation of Satan, a fallen angel who corrupts those around him, and is
my
responsible for most of the evil in the world. As the creatures Morgoth and later Sauron control are
I'm
almost
so close
all
to skipping this
evil
part because
of
this part is so
corruption.
pointless.
Basically every evil, intelligent character in the novels,
Because-
from Saruman
okay,
to Grima Wormtongue,
I'm gonna tell you this. Okay, don't let this guy near high school DxD. Oh my god, I know. Tell me about it. Okay, everything he just said here will become irrelevant. You're gonna see why I say this, because at the end of the video, he literally just says like it says something that will actually make his point irrelevant.
were not evil to begin with. They've
I
simply
don't
been
know
turned evil over
because he
time.
thinks he's winning an
Some
argument by bringing
choice,
up
others
another
through torture or
media that doesn't
pondering
have
their
no
orbs too long.
involvement with
Even the
Frieren.
giant flaming demon Balrog that Gandalf fights is described as being a lesser angel that has simply been turned. Hell, Sauron himself was corrupted. The only creatures that are described as being
this is
totally
so pointless.
100% evil from birth are beings created by Morgoth, who we're told are evil because they don't have souls. This is something that also comes directly from...
I'm gonna tell you this here. Okay, I don't care what Lord of the Rings says. Oh my god, what the heck? No bots. I hate you bots. Yeah, let me get rid of this guy. I don't want no bots here. You're banned, no bots. Okay, so remember what he says about there's no souls or something like that. That is a lie. I mean, it's not a lie, but it's a thing. Okay, I want you to pay attention when he says about they have no souls or anything. let me just say this here. Everything he says about the Lord of the Rings has no bearing to Frieren. Okay, none of this thing has anything to do with the Frieren.
From Tolkien's Catholic theology, by the way.
Oh my
this
god.
idea that evil cannot make, only mock. Satan/Morgoth cannot create anything with a soul, because to be born with a soul means you're a blank slate, and blank slates are good by default, so only God
I'm just gonna skip this. Okay.
Satan/Morgoth.
Okay, you want me to summarize this? Okay. This whole thing is irrelevant because everything he will just say right here, from bringing this pointless novel of the Lord of the Rings. Honestly, I love Lord of the Rings, make no mistake. I actually love that series. But I'm gonna say this here. That story and this story, Frieren, they are not connected. He acts like the story is connected somehow, like it's some big anime crossover when it's not. I will say this dearly. This part of the video is so pointless because wait till we get to the end of the video. You'll see what I get, what he says that actually flips everything he just said on its head.
Concept of souls, religion, and definitive morality given by God entirely, which is pretty easy to do because Frieren is a bit more agnostic, the dilemma still applies. Because what the soul means is more important here. Creatures who are sentient and intelligent and capable of morality are said to have a soul because that's what grants them higher consciousness.
Okay, and bullshit, because in Frieren, remember how like there was a scene with Aura with the kill yourself scene? They both had their souls on the scale, okay? And I just want to say this right here. He's like, well, apparently the demons have no souls and blah, blah, this. Like, no, it doesn't matter. It's like, it doesn't matter what meaning you bring up. Ura and all those other demons had souls.
Any being with that must also have the other aspects of consciousness. The ability to reason, be self-aware, have free will. So removing the soul from the equation, the causes and effects remain. Orcs and demons are sentient, intelligent, and morally capable beings. Therefore, they must be capable of reason, self-awareness, and change. They can't be pure evil because they have the ability to choose not to be. They already have their own system of morality. There's no reason they couldn't adopt another. Now, individual demons may still be evil, and many in the story are, but due to the nature of the dilemma, it shouldn't be the entire race by default. The demon...
It actually is. You literally said it yourself from the very beginning of this video. You showed us that how much they kill people. They pretend to be humans by speaking our language, and you saw them how they manipulated people just the same way they manipulated you in this video.
That committed atrocities and participated in a violent war are not excused by the knowledge that they may have the ability to become good. The demons killed throughout the show are almost always instigators to conflict, after all. But it does raise disquiet about Frieren's intent to eradicate them. Anyway, it's time for manga spoilers.
God. You showed us 2 examples of demons believed evil. The fuck you mean?
From what we've seen of the demons in the show and what I've talked about so far, there are some serious questions.
And he brings Lord of the Rings into this.
Directly try to answer these, and has an entire arc focused on the possibility of coexistence between
and even say that they had no souls, and yet
so now it's time
in the episode of Frieren, they had 2 souls on a scale from Aura.
Now, the specific arc I'm talking about is the Golden City arc, or El Dorado, as the most popular fan translation calls it. Leading into El Dorado, there are a couple of interesting interactions with the demons we see, most notably being another example of a demon asking a question about the meaning of something. This time,
like,
why humans care about their dead.
It's like, do I not mean anything to you?
This demon is
I bet you
actually
anything he sips for Aura. I bet you anything.
Like a human kid, even when humans aren't around. And in an interaction that honestly surprised me, they kill a human, look to their superior with a smile on their face, and say, I did it, master, praise me, and then get cut in half. What the fuck? Why? They think the human is dead, clearly, but they're showing excitement and looking for praise from their superior? A demon, a creature described as this emotionless, antisocial murder monster, is bursting at the seams with
monsters don't have to be freaking like emotionless. I mean, Frieren is emotionless, but at least that for her, she does do the right thing. For goodness sake, you just admitted that freaking Frieren has some emotionless mentality, and you're trying to make this an argument. Like, shut up.
desire for approval. It cares enough about this other demon that it wants them.
It cares enough because it wants validation, because it feels great about itself. Oh my god, because validation is a drug. How does he know killing someone to be happy makes you look fucking insane, right? Like, exactly, he's trying to defend this. How does he know killing someone and being happy makes you look like a fucking insane, right?
To praise them? What? Anyways, we eventually get to El Dorado. And for anyone who hasn't read it, who skipped my spoiler warning, the basic premise is that a powerful demon, Mocked, one of the big boys in the Demon King's army, has turned a city to gold and has been sealed inside it by a magic barrier.
Can't wait till we get to that
he was the
saga.
advisor to a lord of a city who put a bracelet on him, ensuring that if he ever harbored any malice towards anyone in that city, he would die instantly. Yet, he turned the whole place to gold anyways. Curious. Short story long, we spend several chapters exploring Mocked's memories, where we learn that demons do not—
like, how are we supposed to sympathize with the demons again? Like, is this video supposed to be like, well, this is the feelings of, like, dude, he just literally did it out of malice. He doesn't give a crap. Like, he doesn't care. Oh my god.
Actually know what the concept of malice and guilt even are. Mock says he understands all the other emotions, fear, anger, sorrow. This is what helps confirm demons feel these things for real, by the way. But malice and guilt are just completely foreign to him, as they are to all demons.
Yeah, because
so
he
Mock
doesn't
starts
care.
devoting his life to
Because he
finding out how to
can.
feel them, because he considers himself a pacifist who just wants to coexist with humans.
Oh,
Yet, the way he tries to learn what emotions are is just by
it's like, guys, please sympathize with demons that kill people. You gotta trust me with this.
villages and getting kids to kill each other in front of him. This eventually leads him to become the right-hand man of a corrupt lord, who becomes his best friend, since they both openly consider themselves evil and think they can learn from each other. And he serves this lord for many years. It takes 20 before someone even thinks to put that bracelet on him. But eventually, after feeling like he learned everything he could, Mocked turns the town and his best friend to gold anyways, just to see if he feels something. He doesn't. During this, it is explained by a demon that demons do not feel malice or guilt because they've evolved to hunt and kill humans. So killing humans is in their instinct, and feeling empathy isn't. Because if they felt bad for their prey, they would go extinct. And this is coupled with the idea—
oh yeah, like much like every fucking animal out there. Like wolves, anything. Lions, tigers, or bears, anything. They don't care about sympathy. They go by instincts that fits their narrative, man. Like, God, are you serious?
Of convergent evolution, that demons evolve to be similar to humans, but are in fact so distant as to be
No, it's really ironic that I'm actually a Lamia, and yet I'm talking about sympathy and stuff, despite the fact I'm a monster dude. It's kind of ironic that I'm more human than this human at all. That's really sad. This guy, when a demon slaughtered his family from him. Yeah, he's like, yes, yeah, destroy my home. I bet you anything, this is the kind of guy that is okay with open borders and lets illegals in our country. And you see all these illegals killing everybody. This is the kind of guy who he is. He doesn't care because it doesn't affect him.
To us. Just like how an orca and a shark might look and act similar, even if one is a mammal and the other isn't. As they say, for a demon to try and understand human emotions would be like trying to understand the inner workings of an ant. And because their primary instinct is to kill, to search for coexistence means to endanger humanity. The closer a demon gets to humans to learn more about them, the more
I'm telling you, like, this is the guy that'll let like illegal immigrants in his house,
just destroyed
and then like they kill his family, and he'd be all like, "Oh yeah, that's a great culture."
She tells him that even if it were possible for demons to learn to coexist,
and this is coming from a Latin American,
and leave
mind
so
you,
many people dead that it wouldn't even be worth it to pursue. Frieren couldn't let it happen. It's effectively not an option. As she tells us, the Demon King himself wanted coexistence too, and that's what led to 1/3 of humanity being wiped out in the first place. So this changes
exactly what's happening in real life.
Basically our entire understanding of the demons. Now the question of evil is fully shifted from any kind of magic or divinity towards essentially biological determinism, the idea that they're programmed to act this way and don't have any way of stopping it. Demons are born to hunt and kill, and it's so deeply ingrained in their alien nature that that's just how it is. They're not evil out of malice, just
like fucking animals. Oh my god, how hard is it you'd figure this out?
out of instinct. And I've seen people
Exactly,
argue that
instincts.
morality shouldn't even be applied to the demons at all because of this. The idea being that a predator without
Oh my god, I
empathy
can't
doesn't
believe a
even know
monster
what
dude
they're
like me is
doing
telling him
wrong,
this.
so they can't be evil. The
Oh my
specific line
God.
I've seen used being, they're like a house cat killing mice. But I'd just like to remind you, unlike a house cat or a tiger or a bear or whatever, demons are intelligent enough to understand how their actions affect people. And they already have an understanding of morality. That's the most important part here.
gosh.
They have a concept that you can do something wrong because that's how they view Frieren's trickery. They just don't understand that killing people is wrong. They do not lack morals, they just have a hard time adopting ours.
Exactly.
Also, just
You
because
said
I've
it
seen so much
yourself
of it
right there. They
online,
have a lack
evil
of
does not have
understanding about
anything
human
to do with
emotion.
Maliciousness. The fact that they feel no malice towards the people they kill means effectively nothing. By human standards and the standards of the story, killing innocent people is morally reprehensible. It is an evil thing to do and to be okay with doing. The emotions you did or did not feel during, be damned. And they do it even though they don't have to. The story brings up multiple times that they don't need to eat humans to survive. Frieren even all but calls this an excuse when a demon says that's why they killed someone. Oh, and by the way, the manga does drop basically every other pretense that they're wild
This guy needs to
animals
stop
during
and
this
go
arc.
outside, touch
I mean, throughout the
grass.
whole thing, they're emotional
really
and empathetic
does.
towards other demons, like the entire time. Here's a demon being sad their friends are dead and helping another demon because he reminded her of them. Here's a demon saying they use fear to control other demons. Here's a demon doing a fucking yandere smile because they just love fighting so much.
Yeah,
Mox, when he
congratulations.
dies, goes and visits
You're
his
showing. Oh, congratulations, dude. You're showing them how irredeemable these people are. Oh my gosh. Like, my goodness. He's all like, oh yeah, here they are right here, killing another person's baby, and here's another person where they actually molested people. Like, freaking god, dude. Like, he will defend them no matter what. Like, jeez Louise.
his best friend for no other reason than because he misses him. I'm just gonna stop considering this a point I even have to argue because it should be obvious by now. But as you might guess, even after changing our
Like, are you just
understanding, we haven't
excusing them
changed or
killing
solved the
people at this
dilemma.
point?
Shifting the demons from the classic interpretation of evil beings created or corrupted by some dark force to what are essentially sociopaths with a serial killer gene doesn't change
No,
that
stop
their beings
arguing,
who are told are
period.
wholly irredeemable because of this, even though they can think logically and understand morality and all that. We're just told that doesn't matter. They can. Their
my
intentions
God.
don't actually mean anything because their nature is to be evil, and even if they try to overcome that, that
Oh,
will just result in
shit.
them doing more evil. The story is still claiming every single demon is unworthy of mercy, and Frieren is in the right for wanting to eradicate them.
Oh my
She knew about
god,
the demons'
you
desire
just
for
showed
coexistence
us
all along after
all the
this
stuff they
isn't even a revelation
freaking
for her.
did, and
She
you're like,
doesn't care
that
if
they're
there's a
really
chance
undeemable.
might
They are
change.
undeemable
She
because they
wants
kill
them all dead
people.
before that
Oh
can
my
happen.
gosh.
And the story never elaborates on why this change is so difficult. It tells us it's difficult
Because
that they
it's
just can't fathom
impossible!
empathy and not killing, and that they'd kill every human before they got anywhere, but it just defaults back to it being in their nature, which is apparently something they cannot overcome, even though humans and other races
You just told
clearly
us
can.
already that they're
Frieren's
unable
entire
to
journey
freaking
is about
adopt
learning
our
to connect
ways.
with others emotionally, even though that's not in her nature as an elf. That's literally what the story is about. But with the demons, it just repeatedly says, it can't be done. That's just the way it is. And you'll never know why, because they're aliens, so we'll never understand it. And
You
the
just told us they're not able to
strangest part of it all
adapt.
is that this is happening while one of the most prominent themes throughout this arc, the one that Frieren herself
my
faces,
God.
is the idea that nothing is impossible. It's a theme that exists throughout the story, but here they specifically focus on it. We see Frieren give up several times because she thinks something can't be done, and we see someone alongside her keep trying anyways, and through their efforts they convince Frieren that it's possible, so she does it. Nothing is impossible in this world, says the manga, while having a character find it impossible to overcome their nature, while Frieren says it is impossible for demons and humans to coexist without bloodshed. And while the story tells us it is
Because they did work together, and then they got destroyed. So that didn't work. So why would you do it again? Ugh.
impossible to understand the inner workings of the demons. So by now, I hope you can understand the part of Frieren that has been stuck in my mind
God, how much
ever
left of
since I
this?
first watched it. By adopting the tropes of Tolkien's fantasy, the story also adopts his moral dilemma surrounding the villains. And it does seem very interested in exploring this. It goes into great detail trying to understand the demons, what makes them different, what makes them evil. But in its attempts to further explain everything, it just loops back around to the same simple answer it was trying to get away from. They're evil because they're demons. By being a demon, you are evil. Not because demons are corrupted by some magical force that makes them be that way, like in most fiction, but because they are controlled by some biological force that makes them be that way, which doesn't change anything. This, to me, makes the demon—
it doesn't change anything? Oh my god, they are, oh my god, it's like, fuck this. They're evil because they're evil, they were born that way. They had no parents, they had nothing.
Fundamentally no different than the orcs. Creatures the author wants to be pure evil because their role in the story is to—
oh my god, you're bringing up the orcs argument again.
Creatures the author has accidentally given all of the components necessary to not be evil, which they have no real explanation for. So, in order to curb any hint of a dilemma, they give us an answer that can be best summarized as "don't worry about it." Like, if we take a character like Ubel, someone shown in the story to be fine with killing pretty much anyone, who has killed a lot and doesn't feel bad about it, who explicitly uses charisma in combat to get an advantage, and we compared her to a demon who did pretty much all of the same stuff she did, can you think of any reason—
first off, that argument is BS. Okay, she probably had to do it for oh my god, that's a lot of shit. I'm sorry. First of all, best bae ever. I love that girl. Secondly, no. Just because she killed people, was that probably out of self-defense or something. But for all I care, man, she doesn't go and kill people randomly like the demons do. Give me a break.
Reason given by the story why Ubel would deserve mercy and be allowed to live, and the demon would not, that does not boil down to because they're a demon.
Because she doesn't manipulate people.
Of the demons a sort of subversion of a subversion, taking the idea that many pieces of media take the evil fantasy race from
this guy's
Tolkien
throwing things at the wall, and none of it's
so
sticking.
It
isn't.
Them is subverting that. But the idea of subversion is that it should add an interesting element to explore, or take some idea and build on it in a way you weren't expecting. Yet Frieren's demons are doing the exact opposite. They are stripping away interesting ideas to revert them back to their simpler form. The show's most interesting exploration of the demons, I would argue, is the El Dorado arc, which is entirely focused on their inner workings, yet results in the same conclusion we had going into it. It asks a lot of interesting questions just to give answers we already knew. It wants its villains to be more compelling than Tolkien's orcs, while still having them be fundamentally the same at their very core. And this might be presumptuous of me to say.
I don't understand why he keeps bringing up orcs.
I have with Frieren are based on this same
I don't
situation.
understand.
The story taking a very simple idea, typically a trope from an earlier work like Tolkien's, and dressing it up as if it's going to be
Who
more
cares
complex.
about Tolkien's?
Only for it
It
not
has
to be.
nothing to do
Frieren
with
is
this
often
anime.
praised for having better world building
I think he
and setup than
does.
the typical fantasy isekai people hate so much. Yet from the Tolkien races to the
Oh,
demon
yeah, like the
villains to the
orcs
magic
and everything. Dude,
association,
does he
it
just wanna
uses
get
all
banged
of
by
the
an
same
orc?
tropes to build
Gosh.
its world. Frieren is even an overpowered and rather simple main character, like many anime are criticized for having. Further made less interesting by virtue of
I hope
the
he stays
story
away from
continually
Zelda. He
proving
probably
how right
might
about
bring up the
everything,
moblins.
especially regarding the demons. The story is also praised for not focusing on combat as much as your typical shonen battle formula, and for having an interesting use of magic. And yet, not only is it very combat-oriented, with an unironic Chunin exam battle
demons
royale,
watch this?
and a straight-up
The fuck are you
assassination
about? We
plot
just
taking
love
up a
killing.
bulk of the story.
Exactly.
But the combat, more often than not, devolves into something very similar to a shonen battle anime, just with magic as a substitute for a power system, spells substituting unique abilities. The very structure of the show is set up to be a subversion of your typical—
Okay, has this guy ever watched anime in general? Like, that's literally every single anime. Like, Dragon Ball Z. Oh my god, I bet this guy has never seen Goblin Slayer. Like, he's like, well, it is like gone by combat for everything. Like, dude, you just summarized every freaking anime. Oh my god, this guy's a tourist. Like, did he not watch has he not watched Goblin Slayer? Has he not watched Demon Killer or Demon Slayer? Oh my god. His only anime he watches is Naruto and Dragon Ball Abridged, probably. Oh my god, I bet he does.
Adventure story, taking place after the journey is already done. Yet the entire plot is still a major quest to reach the Demon King's castle that plays out and ramps up exactly like a traditional story would if they were on their way to defeat the Demon King. Traveling to dangerous lands and defeating stronger and stronger enemies and taking time to stop major threats. It's not a journey beyond Journey's End, it's just another journey. Like I said in the beginning, I don't want to dislike Frieren. I think all of its ideas are right up my alley. Lord of the Rings is one of my favorite stories after all, but I think there's a big difference between The Lord of the Rings being a simple and straightforward story and not trying to be anything more than that, and Frieren wanting to do something different and interesting, but
Okay, first off, Lord of the Rings and Frieren are two different things. Stop trying to make the comparison. There's no comparison. It's it's an anime like it's like what, a journey? It is a journey? I'm shocked. Exactly. Oh my god, it's like, imagine he tries to read Berserk. Oh my god, it's like, it's just a journey in a journey. Oh my god, it's like, jeez Louise. Like, that's the thing that makes me so mad about this guy. Like, he doesn't understand what the hell he's talking about.
ultimately just wrapping back around to being simple and straightforward. Yet even still, after all of this, I have this inkling in the back of my mind, hoping that something is going to change. There are just so many direct contradictions the story has with itself.
There
that I
is
can't
no
imagine it
contradictions.
isn't aware
You're
of them.
full of
A
shit.
demon telling us they only use language to kill, with language. A character learning nothing is impossible, then telling us something is impossible. I want to believe that this is heading somewhere. Maybe because all of the demon biology lessons we're given come from the Demon King, who is obviously trying to understand why they are the way that they are. Not an entirely reliable source of info. Plus, and this is getting
Not
into
a reliable
whole other
source of
arc, the Demon
info.
King basically had this right-hand man who could see the future, which is confirmed to be accurate. So this implies he definitely knew he was going to die, and it was somehow part of his
Griffin
plan,
is a
which
yeah.
is
Oh my god!
almost definitely
Imagine he
going to
tries to get with tries to does Berserk. And he says, "I'm gonna do a video about how Griffith is a good guy."
come up later. In fact, the story not showing the Demon King at all is pretty convincing evidence that there's going to be a massive reveal about him that's going to shake things up. But it might not. The story might just keep on the path that it is clearly already treading. In fact, to say the demons weren't evil this late into the game would be difficult. Our main character is literally the Slayer. The story has been so complicit in this eradication
Berserk
of the
me would
demons
slaughter this
that it
guy.
would
Oh,
seriously
they would
color our
go.
perception
Oh,
of
they
it
would
if they
destroy
changed
this
that.
dude.
They might still
No
figure
doubt
out some
about
way
it.
to coexist with the demons in the future, but it would be a clusterfuck to change the past. So I understand that the story isn't over. This is the most recent chapter as of this recording. It could go in any direction after the video gets uploaded. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to assume the morality of the demons isn't questioned any further. I hope it is.
Because they don't have morality.
And the video ages like
They're
milk or
just
whatever.
demons.
I'm going to treat the story as if this is all
They
the
use each
information
other
that
for
we're gonna get.
tools.
The demons are evil. That's what the story is saying, because that's the context in which I want to get into this final part.
Oh yeah, oh Twitter, bitch. What morality? They killed so many
You
people.
see,
Exactly. You just showed us examples after examples. Oh, like, oh yeah, this person killed this person. Oh yeah, like, dude, you just literally freaking flipped your whole argument on your head.
Back, Frieren was trending on Twitter.
Oh,
and
Twitter.
So I tweeted about pretty much what I've been talking about.
Yeah,
this whole
for the record, this guy locked his replies, so let that sink in.
time. The demons in Frieren are shown to contradict their supposedly evil nature so much that I expected the story to subvert it, and I was disappointed when it didn't. I didn't bring up anything about Tolkien's dilemma, but I did reference the
He got
biological determinism
BTFO
in the way that I thought
in the
got the point
ratio.
across. And the reaction to
Jesus
this
Christ, I made better analysis in
was
3 minutes a few
intense.
days ago on
I've been
stream.
the center of a couple
Exactly!
Of bad Twitter
And it
moments.
made
I've
more
had
sense
several
than
viral
him.
tweets made specifically to try and dunk on me. I'm unlucky enough to have several accounts that just obsessively post about everything I do. I don't really talk about it because it doesn't bother me, but I
Oh,
thought it was a
it doesn't bother you, yet you freaking acknowledged it. Not only that, you locked the replies, if I may add. Oh, for another record, oh, that's not even the worst of it. You freaking try to like act like you're so high and mighty, but yet you just made this video out of spite.
especially funny that this reaction to criticism about an anime promoting the value of friendship had people calling me more slurs than I've ever
Wait, let me see. Where's the slurs? I don't see it. Oh, okay. I see it. Shut up, APG. Okay. All right. Whatever. There is one slur. Oh my gosh. They kept calling me slurs. Dude, they called you out. Oh yeah, there's retard. I hope you get retard. Wait. I hope you get the thing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's Twitter. You say some stupid things on there. What do you expect, man? I get shit on Twitter all the time. Who cares? Oh my god, you have no thick skin, dude. You're BS. Like, well, it doesn't bother me. I'm just gonna show you all the slurs that I said about me. Oh, shut up.
Scene. Now, unfortunately, a lot of this comes from the
Yeah,
discourse
I
being
bet.
poisoned. A while back, Starship Troopers, a similar story about mankind fighting alien bugs that are said to be evil on the story surface but shown to be more complex than that, was trending on Twitter. And some very enlightened individuals decided to turn this into a political compass test, drawing a line in the sand and saying if you empathize with the bugs, you're on this side, if you want to kill them, you're on this side. Which then expanded to any
Because you are supporting the bugs. You are the bug. You became the freaking bug. In other words, you became the demon because you are a demon.
discussion of the morality of different races and creatures in media. And this makes sense.
Yeah, doesn't
A lot
that
of
sound
especially
familiar?
Extreme ideologies already promote the eradication of groups you consider morally lesser than you outside of fiction. So if you believe in one of those ideologies,
Oh yeah, because
well,
the
you
lesser,
wanna-
yeah, because so somehow we're the lesser, like somehow we're not the lesser one. Yeah, being killed by a bunch of demons that have no sympathy, no freaking morality. Yeah, somehow they're the most less of all of us. Yeah, shut up.
agree that the characters in Frieren or Starship Troopers should do just that, regardless of the facts of the story, which is why these stories have picked up rather large followings from these crowds. But unfortunately, this has just completely bulldozed any meaningful discussion on
Oh my
topics like
God.
this for a lot of people, since the desire to stick to a side for political reasons overrides everything else. When my tweet
I don't think this was a political reason. It's common sense. Like, okay, this is like a common sense thing. Would you want to support the people that are trying to defend us, or would you rather support the people that want to kill us? Like, how is this a political thing? There was no Republican or Democrats involved in this. Actually, well, I know your views are because they're always like left wing to the point you'll probably support the people that want us dead.
reached a wider audience that included people with these ideologies,
Oh my God.
they were never going to engage with the contents of the argument. They just wanted to represent their side of the aisle.
I like that meme right there. The one where she says, "Oh look, here comes the far right." Oh my god. I love where Aura says, "Oh look, here comes the far right." I never get tired of that meme, but it's like, because they're right. If anything, dude, come on, normal guy, they're right. Shut up.
attack the other side, which is whatever. Again, I don't care about being called names. It's pretty easy.
You don't care about being called names, yet you showed it on us in this video, and you made this video out of spite.
When responding to your argument in this bad of faith. But what really got me, what actually made me kind of upset, was just the surprising amount of people responding to my tweet by essentially saying, "No, what are you talking about? The demons are unquestionably evil. Here's a panel where they say so. Here's the
Oh my lord, dude, you literally showed us how evil they are, how much they manipulate people. You kind of told on yourself.
logic justifying their evilness." This was far and away the most common opinion I saw. The vast majority of
Common
the response to my
opinion.
tweet, outside of the bad faith insults, being disagreements with specifically my questioning of the story's logic, like me bringing up the contradictions was the worst thing I said. And this truly made me feel
You
insane.
found no
Like,
contradiction.
actually insane. Because after going through the whole story, these contradictions were so obvious to me, I didn't
saying
know how someone else wouldn't pick
You
up on
didn't
them.
find a
That's why I spent so
contradiction.
much time in this video going through them. But more than that, I didn't understand why people thought these explanations invalidated my criticism.
Take a
Let
drink
me
every time he
explain.
says contradiction.
Here's a question. Why are the creatures in Frieren called demons? If you've even glanced over the anime or manga or just gotten this far into the video, it should be pretty obvious that there's actually two answers. The first answer is the in-universe one. We aren't actually given one, I believe, but you could easily say it stems from
God.
some word in this universe's historical language. Maybe it means man-eater in Elvish or something. I don't know. But the second reason, the out-of-universe
My
one,
God,
is that
like-
demons in fiction, since the Bible, have been considered the most broadly recognized holy evil creature. So you call your
No
creatures
shit.
demons to denote that they're evil. These two types of answers to a question about a fictional
Yeah,
space
guy
can
needs
be pretty much
this.
applied to anything.
Go
I
touch
just
the-
call them
touch
in-universe and
the-
out-of-universe,
some
but
grass.
another name I like
I
is the
saw it.
Watsonian and the Doyleist. Because in Sherlock Holmes, written by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, Dr. Watson is described as having
I
a war
seriously,
room.
it blows my mind why he's trying to go with the definition of freaking demons when we already knew what demons mean. Like, for love of
That
God.
is sometimes shown to be
It's
in
like
his
he's
shoulder,
trying to, like, well,
sometimes
if
in his
that
leg.
term, it means
the
this.
Watsonian answer, the one that Watson would give, is that he must simply have 2 wounds. The Doyleist answer, or the one Sir Arthur Conan Doyle would give, is that he forgot where
I
the
don't
wound
care.
was while writing.
I just
so,
don't
fun
care.
fact, if you ever wanted to know where the word orc came from, Tolkien, being the language nerd that he was,
Oh, yes,
actually
floor
wrote
is made
extensive
of
Watsonian
floor.
answers about the history of the word in Middle-earth, and how it's pronounced in his different languages. But he also gave a rather blunt Doyleist answer. Orcs, the word is, as far as I am concerned, actually derived from Old English, orc meaning demon, but only because of its phonetic suitability. Now, there's a bunch more terms and study around these, but really
my
all
God,
you need
because
to
the
know
words
is that for
change
every
over
question that comes
time.
up in a story, there's those 2 explanations. And which one of these is appropriate can largely depend on the type of question. Why
Oh
a
my
character made a
God.
stupid decision might be entirely explained by them having an impulsive personality, whereas why another character was killed off might be explained by the actor moving on to another project. But the key point here is explain. In-universe or out-of-universe explanations on their own do very little to actually defend the work from criticism.
Excuse me? Excuse me. What? Wait. In-universe doesn't, like, just shut up. Like, you're not the author. You didn't write the book. I mean, like, who the hell do you think you are? Like, well, this is a contradiction, so I don't care about this in-universe. Like, just shut up.
An actor moving on to another project doesn't make the character's death any more satisfying or coherent in the story. A character making a stupid decision because they were emotional
Yeah, like this
doesn't
video.
make the stupid decision any less stupid. Explanations can only serve to smooth out the consistency of the world, but
Does this guy have,
criticism
like, a
often
frontal
extends
lobe?
far
I
beyond
think
that.
so.
And this is especially important to keep in mind when the criticism made is of some meta element of the text, and the response is to use the text to defend it. Because the Doyleist has power over the Watsonian, but the Watsonian has little power over the Doyleist.
I don't care,
The
man.
author is in
This
complete
guy.
control of this world and can override it in any way they want. It's not real. So they may choose to make decisions that best suit the pre-existing logic of the universe, but ultimately, they can make the logic of the universe anything they please at any time.
No
And
shit.
if you've ever
That's
heard of
called making a story. Oh my God, holy shit.
a retcon is, you've seen a common example of the many ways an author can bend that logic to fit their will. Getting back on topic, something you have to understand is that Tolkien's dilemma wasn't one of internal consistency, that the orcs weren't 100% following the logic of his world. He had complete control over that, after all. He could just change the way the world works. Morgoth is just able to create creatures with souls who are irredeemably evil. Boom, solved. No, his dilemma stemmed from asking why he would write a universe with that logic
I'm
in
not
the
bad for
first
sympathizing with
place.
demons.
That's why even his
Mr.
multiple different
Electric
backstories didn't
sends
fix
him to
anything.
principal
His potential
office
changes
and
always
have him
clashed with his
expelled.
real-life
Oh
religious
yeah,
views,
I'm not
his
bad for
real-life
sympathizing for demons.
morality.
Mr.
And so,
Electric,
they
send him to
clashed
the
with
principal
themes of
office
his
and have
story
him
being about
expelled.
overcoming evil and the possibility of redemption. My criticisms of Frieren flow in this same way. I've focused on the contradictions of the text as obvious points of contention, places where the story tells us one thing and shows another. That's easy. But my core issue with the demons being irredeemably evil is larger than the consistency of the story's logic, because the morality, themes, and ideals of a story exist outside of that. You can smooth out the logic of the world as much as you want, explain why the demons are the way that they are as definitively as you can.
Okay, imagine
but doing
if
so,
Phoenix Wright or Edgeworth had to deal with this guy and his demon logic. Oh my God, they would tore this guy apart.
does not change or justify what a world created to be like that is promoting. What its logic is telling the audience it values. Or if a story with that logic is even good in the first place.
Oh my God.
The story of Frieren is ultimately one about empathy and learning to appreciate and understand others, especially those you might consider lesser, most prominently shown through Frieren's greater power and lifespan than all of the other characters she grows fond of. And yet, Through its
Nah,
own
Ezra will
logic,
walk
the story
away
proudly
because he
says that
knows
some
it would be a
beings
waste
are
of
just
time.
wholly undeserving
Yeah,
of
it's basically
empathy
like
entirely, not for any specific
it's like
actions they
arguing
might
with
take, but just on the
Wiener.
basis of their existence.
That's basically what he's basically
they
go
are, in
against.
fact, lesser. Frieren's journey is one about seeing how others around her benefit her life and have
Sebastian
their own complete
Wiener.
and complex
Yeah, 'cause
experiences
that's
that
what
are
basically
just as
we'd be
valuable
arguing
as
with.
her own. And yet, through its own logic, the story says that the experiences of some beings are just completely worthless, by virtue of them being born as something that can only cause harm. A story about how anyone can overcome their own limitations, even those imposed by the nature of their birth, and how they can always achieve the impossible, repeatedly shows us characters that it says will never do so, no matter how hard
They
they
did,
try.
and they did, and it failed, and you freaking been told so many times, dude.
Really sucks. Now, and you might honestly just choose not to believe me, but despite the confrontational nature of a video like this,
it's almost over.
I don't really have any problem with people disagreeing with me about my criticisms of.
Yes, you did. Yes, you freaking did. Oh, shut up. You're like, I have nothing to. It's like, where's his gavel? I don't know. Where's his gavel? Oh, it's probably Aura, his waifu. Okay, this is the part of the video that pisses me off so much. Because I looked at his Twitter. He blocked his replies. And he says, well, I have no meaning to this. That people disagree. Dude, you freaking had a pissy fit that you literally locked the replies. Okay, shut up.
Frieren and the demons. I understand that I have a very controversial opinion here. And I by
more like a controversial, I mean, more like wrong in general.
no means consider my position to be unassailable. But what I do have a problem with, and what honestly makes me more than a little mad, is people trying to dismiss my criticism solely by repeating the logic of the thing I'm criticizing. The values promoted by the logic of the narrative
Name on the
can
scale.
still fundamentally be at odds with the values the narrative itself is trying to promote, even in a perfectly consistent world. Because unlike real life, a story's logic is just created by an author. It isn't absolute. And showing me a panel where the characters explain that this is how the world works does nothing to address that. So,
yeah, because it called you wrong, and you already freaking contradicted yourself by showing, like, look how these demons have no morals, and you told us how they don't have any morality, or willing to adapt to it. My goodness, dude, there was no point. This whole video is pointless. That's literally what you did. Exactly. Oh my god, exactly. Like, that's exactly what he did throughout the whole video.
as it stands, the way demons in Frieren are handled is very strange. And I think a lot of my
Not as strange as this video. Like, seriously.
issues with the show can be tied into my issue with the demons, because ultimately
He
I think they
is!
stem from the same place. I also think exploring this dilemma I've talked about serves a very important lesson about how to write and engage with morality. And I think a lot of people should take it as a lesson on how to engage with criticism, because
Oh, that is the best thing he's ever said. How to engage with criticism. Like, shut up. Like, shut up. We looked at your Twitter page. I might even post it on the post video, but like, he locked his replies. No. You should take lesson from no one should take lessons from you. Exactly. Like, shut up.
in both cases, there's a lot of danger in relying on the ideas of others.
Oh my god, that line right there. People should not be relying on the dangers of rely on like ideas from others. Gee whiz, you mean like you? You mean like you telling that we should sympathize with demons and all that stuff? Wow. And you're the one to talk about morality, saying like no one should have to rely on the logic of others. Like, dude, your follower base is exactly what it is. They're following the dangers of you.
Thanks for watching.
Oh my god, like, just listen to this. Just listen to this part right here. Just
The
please.
dilemma I've talked about serves a very important lesson about how to write and engage with morality. And I think
God.
a lot of people should take it as a lesson on how to engage with criticism, because in both cases, there's a lot of danger in relying on the ideas of others.
Rely on the dangers of others. Like, dude, they listen to you. And, oh my god, it's like, oh yeah, this is definitely what I died for. Dude, if they listen to you, the houses would be on fire. You won't be here. Or unless you're just a masochist. I'm telling you, I think this guy may be a demon. Sympathizing with other demons. That's what it is. And it's like, what blows my mind is like, he thinks that he's in the right for this. Well, the contradictory of the demons. I'm like, dude, like, oh my god. There is nothing. There's nothing that actually is significant about. There's nothing that's salvageable with the demons. They're set to kill and manipulate people. I bet you anything this guy probably would have a body pillow of Ura. He's all like, I bet you after this video he's all like, oh yeah, it's rely on the dangers of others. Well, if you don't mind me, I'm gonna go get my gimp suit while this demon burns my house down and takes my credit card. Fucking clown. This guy is a clown. Like, my god. Oh my snake eyes. Okay, so I want to show you one thing before I end this stream. Well, he is right about one thing. It's a contradiction of demons. The demons is the guy that on the screen right now. Okay, so we're gonna read the. So before I end this, I just want to read the comment section because they destroyed this dude. All right, let's look at this. Oh god damn it. Oh my god, I'm gonna read this before I end this because this guy, this guy is unfucking believable. Oh come dang it! I don't know which is worse, the Mike Pollock situation or this. Let me see. Well, let's look at let's look at this. Oh my god, this is so... Alright, let me look at the newest one right here. Let me see. I came here on the Twitter to dunk on something and found a reasonable argument. Huh? GG. Oh my god. Okay, dear Arthur Big Daddy, main character fights against such a made demon for the purpose. Whether or not that we feel sorry or something what, unwilling to you. As the author has made it clear that if it's not evil themselves, they were committing evil the acts of their own expanse of others. I can understand the viewpoint, but it makes sense, but you're presuming it. Well, you're presenting it as it though it's considering the story's perspective to understand what's going on. The story needs to be big, the facts of the authors, demons. Oh, God, I think he's trying to call him wrong. Wait, people are agreeing with this? I saw more people like disagreeing with this guy. Okay, dude, you're putting too much brain into it. A clear shit show. I disagree with the fundamental premises, the arguments, but it was bad for anyone to send death threats because they disagree. Didn't send death threats. He could be deleting comments. Yeah, I bet you he could be. He didn't get no death threats. Oh my gosh, shut up. The ultimate enemy would be great if reinformations with demon and human relationships. No, never gonna happen. I think Frieren would vomit after reading that comment. My god, this is like this is so dumb. Yeah, they're all agreeing with this. Oh, that reminds me, be right back. Oh, Christ. I wasn't expecting Frieren community to be so fucking toxic. No, I'm definitely not going to watch the show. Yeah, good. We don't want you, Taurus. Get lost. Wow, I never sit well and think demons aren't capable and emotional. Oh my god, it's like so stupid. This is just trash. Oh my god, these people are so stupid for agreeing with this. Oh my god, like I can't even expand how bad this is. It's like morality, emotional debate. What a time to be alive. Ugh. This is just dumb. Anybody who agrees with this, you're a demon. You're all demons. You probably would like to sympathize and want to sleep with you. To anybody in the comment section here, you're all demons. You're all bad people. I'm sorry, but oh, get out of the fandom now. Oh my snake gods. What is wrong with you people? You sympathize with people that killed humans. And that's coming from a Lamia. My goodness. Oh my snake gods, like why would you do this? Oh. Oh my snake gods, like why? I'm just gonna wait for Donnie before I end the stream. Cause this whole thing is dumb. Like everything but his arguments are so dumb. It's like it's like he contradicts himself, and then people are like, "Oh yeah, I totally agree with this. Oh yeah." They're all NPCs. That's all they are. They sympathize with bad people, cause why the fuck not? Okay, this wasn't an argument. This was winning. Exactly. That's all it was. It's just like I don't understand how people would sympathize with demons. But anyway, I think that's gonna end the stream. I'll be back in about 12 minutes. We're gonna start the Ace Attorney again. Until then, you read that wrong. I mean, this wasn't an argument. This was whining. It really was him whining. Demon lies Matt. Oh, fuck off. I almost threw up reading that. I should really use that for the thumbnail for that video, but anyway, in 12 minutes we're gonna get started with the Ace Attorney. Until then, Viperous, I'm out. I'm sorry I had to subject to you guys to this cancer, but until then, laters. Be back in 12 minutes.